Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight for this second demonstration webinar for the eNVD system that ISC has recently released. I'm just going to give it just a little bit more time as we let more people into the webinar. We've got about, I think, 900 producers registered for tonight, which is fantastic. And this is the second webinar in this series. We ran one last Tuesday night last week as well. So it's great to see so many of you coming along to learn about the eNVD. I've just introduced myself. My name is Cherie Young. I'm the Communications Manager at Integrity Systems Company. And tonight on this webinar, we also have Romy Wahab joining us, who is ISC's Product Strategy Manager for the eNVD system. Romy will be taking you on a live demonstration of the new eNVD features using both the web and the app system. So you get to see in action how it works. I just wanted to remind you that this session is being recorded, as was last week's, and after tonight's webinar's over, we'll be sending out an email to anyone who registered for both recordings from both webinars with other resources, and also a full Q&A of any questions that you've put through in the registration process and any that you ask tonight. We have got 3 ISC team members on the call. We've got Pete, George and Callum with us tonight, and they're here to help answer any questions that you have. So I'd encourage you to pop them in the Q&A as they come to mind, and they will be able to answer them for you. So I'll just now, before we move on, just move on to the agenda, just to give you a bit of a run through of what you can expect to learn about tonight. So first, we'll start with a bit of a run through. I'm going to just take you on a bit of an LPA eNVD journey discussion, just to sort of reiterate what an LPA eNVD is and just a bit of the journey that it's been on, which includes the new features that have been recently released. And then Romy's going to jump in and he will start a demonstration. He's going to take you through how to access the eNVD through your myMLA login. He's going to talk to you about and show you how to handle the eNVD if you also move your own stock. And he's going to also show adding and deleting transporters from the eNVD. The transport factor is a pretty new thing for the eNVD. It's a new feature, and before now transporters didn't have as much accessibility to the web system as they do now, so it's a really great step for the whole system. You'll also be shown how to add viewers to your consignments and to share consignments. We did touch on this last week, so we are going to reiterate it, but it is something that we feel we get a lot of questions about, so we're really hoping that that will help. And we'll also touch on email notifications, which is a new feature, particularly for receivers. So anyone you're sending livestock to will get an email notifying them of what's coming their way. So that's just something we wanted to show you as well. Now, just before we go on, just another reminder, put any questions you have in the chat, in the Q&A box. We'll be getting to those. If you could include your state, that would really help the team know how best to answer your question. And also, if we can just try and keep them to questions rather than comments, that'd be great, because got strong numbers in the webinar, so we're just trying to keep it open to get those questions answered. We've also done some work to make our help page more consolidated, so we've got web and app help resources, and the link is just appearing in the chat now that you can go to actually get different resources across both platforms. So I will now go to the next slide just to talk to you a little bit about the eNVD and what an LPA eNVD is. So basically, as an overview, the LPA eNVD is a legal document which communicates the food safety and treatment status of every animal as it moves through the supply chain. They can be completed on your desktop computer, on your tablet, or on your mobile phone using either the eNVD web system or the mobile app. They are definitely a fast and easy way to complete livestock consignments, and they're also free, and they're more accurate than paper forms, as they ensure that all the livestock information is digitally captured, and this is just going to become more and more important as time goes on. They also mean you don't have to buy the book, and you can access this system through the web or the app. You can print them off from the web if you need to, or the app, and just should simplify the whole process for you. Producers who are livestock production assurance accredited are able to use the eNVD system. So just as an overview, the LPA program is Australia's red meat on-farm assurance program. It underpins market access for our meat and provides evidence of livestock history and on-farm practices as the livestock transfer through the supply chain. So it's also just really important to remember that even if you are using an eNVD, you still need to ensure your livestock are transferred on the NLIS. We are working on streamlining this process, but as it stands today, anyone sending animals needs to complete an eNVD, and the receiver is then responsible for logging that movement onto the NLIS database. So ISC is working at the moment to look at how to integrate the two together, but as it is for today, they are still separate movements, and so they require two different processes for that to occur. So I just wanted to remind you, because I think, we just want to settle down any, just help if there's any confusion out there about that, but it's still the case. There's two steps to this. So basically, just as a recap, the benefits of an eNVD is you have a digital record for your livestock movement. This means there's less manual data entry through the supply chain, so greater efficiencies along the line there. They're easy to read. eNVDs can't get lost or damaged, and they also save you time as they have a template function. So once you get the hang of it, you can set up templates for regular consignments, so you don't have to keep entering the same information in all the time. And eNVD users also have a $30 discount on their LPA accreditation, which is another bonus. So then the next slide that I have for you is just a quick journey of the eNVD. So 2017 was when we first saw the eNVD go live. And then in 2022, the mobile app came along. Today, we've got about 29% of all our consignments are being created in a digital format. And that we're looking to see that number grow as takeoff and supply chain takeoff of this system continues to grow. The app has now been downloaded, I believe, just over 30,000 times, which is great. And over the last 18 months, 13 new features have been developed into the and released into the eNVD system. And this has been in direct response to industry feedback. The big winner out of it all is accessibility has now been expanded across the supply chain. So now you can have transporters getting involved in the eNVD system on the web when they couldn't before. Agents can now do more, and feedlots and processors and sale yards can also get in there and access the consignments, make comments, view attachments. There's a whole raft of things that we'll show you tonight, but basically, the changes have come from that feedback, and we're really hoping that helps with the eNVD system for you. So, as an overview, we just go to the next slide, these are just a very high-level summary of what's new for the eNVD. So, as I mentioned, greater accessibility for the supply chain. There's now an ability to add comments and attach documents that stay with the livestock through the journey of their journey. So any attachments that you want to add, they stay with them. So this is all digitally held now, so no risk of them getting lost or damaged along the way. You can add and remove transporters now where you couldn't before. And there's also a direct access now to the eNVD through the myMLA dashboard. So it's a much simpler access point. The user experience has also been aligned. So we now have a web system that is now matches the app. So they're very similar in look and feel. And consignments that you've started on the web, you can now finish them on the app. And it's a very similar experience. Multiple pick holders no longer have to switch between picks. They can just toggle through their linked picks within the eNVD system. So no more logging in and logging out. And there's also easier sharing options, which Romy is going to discuss tonight. We have been running these webinars throughout for all supply chain groups. So we've done 2 for producers, 1 for processors, 1 for agents and sale yards, and on the 25th of March, we're doing 1 for the transport sector. So we're really trying to help all of supply chain understand and be able to use the eNVD. So yeah, there's lots of work going on there. But now, I guess before I pass on to Romy, I just say my biggest tip would be to get a myMLA registered email. And if your supply chain also have a myMLA registered email, then that makes it easier for everyone to see the consignments that they have been added to. Yeah, so I think that's really it from me. So I think it's time for Romy to start showing you all the new features. Romy.
Thank you, Sherry. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking our time to attend tonight's webinar. My name is Romy, and I'm the Product Strategy Manager at IC, looking after our traceability products, and eNVD is one of those products. So it's an exciting time at IC for us to be showing you these new features. As Sherry mentioned, a little bit of background. eNVD website was first released in 2017, and towards the end of 2022, we released the first version of the mobile app. The mobile app has gone through a few iterations where we have continued to roll out improvements. Previously, you would have accessed eNVD via your LPA or NLS accounts. These access methods will remain in place today. To gain access to eNVD, all you need is a myMLA account. So most of you would already have one because you're using LPA. myMLA single sign-on was designed as a tool to sort of consolidate all of your disparate logins for the different ISC MLA services, including LPA, MSA, myFeedback, and now eNVD. So myMLA, you can think of it as like MyGov. So you can compare it with MyGov, where you log in with one account to access all of your like ATO or any other government websites. There's been a lot of enhancements to bring the web interface in line with the mobile app. These enhancements have been designed in response to industry feedback to deliver a smoother user experience and improved accessibility across the supply chain. The new features increases efficiency and convenience for all users across the greater supply chain, including transporters, agents, sale yard, feedlot, and processors. All of the new features that I will demonstrate today is applicable across both the mobile app and the eNVD website. However, it's the website that has gone through most significant changes. To gain access to eNVD, all you need to do is register with myMLA, and then you can start linking in your LPA or NLS accounts if you want to do so. Let me just start by sharing my screen. Jump into the MLA homepage. So go to mla.com.au. So if you have already signed up for one of the MLA accounts, all good. If you haven't, just click on myMLA sign up, and then you provide your credentials. We'll send you a verification code. You come back here, provide the verification code, and then you're able to log in, complete your onboarding profile questions, and then you are ready to go. So I've got a few test accounts already. So I'll just log in with one of my test accounts. I'll log in with this one. So as I land in the myMLA dashboard, this is the updated MLA dashboard. They released this, MLA has released this in November last year. So if I scroll down, I've got quick access to all of the MLA services, LPA, eNVD, Analyze, Meets, MSA, myFeedback, and Sheep Genetics. And then if I've linked my LPA Analyze accounts, all good. If I haven't, I just go up here to link services, click on link more services, and I can click on LPA if I wanted to link the LPA account. So if I just click on that, it shows you, we can see that I've got two LPA accounts linked here already. If I want to link another one, I just click on that. I won't do that right now. And if I want to link any Analyze accounts, click on Analyze. You can see I've got two Analyze accounts. I can click on this link account button to link a third one if I wanted to, but I won't do that right now. I'll just jump back into the dashboard and log in straight into the eNVD website. So as we arrive on the eNVD homepage, there's a few new things to point out over here on this page. So as Sherry mentioned, we have given you the ability to easily switch between your different accounts. So if you, on the left section here, there's an account switcher button. If I click on that, I can switch between my LPA accounts. As I showed you, I had 2 LPA accounts. I had 2 analyze accounts, so I can switch between them. The registered programs will change according to the accreditations I have for that account. So if I wanted to go to any of the analyze accounts, I can do that as well. And if I scroll down here, basically there's 2 default accounts that we will assign for any eNVD user. So buy account is given to you if you are someone we've identified that you will buy stock from a sale yard. So we'll give you that buyer account, and viewer is basically we give to all eNVD users so that they can be added as a third party to a consignment. So even if you are not linked to a consignment, you're not the owner, destination, source, or the consignee, the consignment creator can always link you in as a viewer. So I'll be going through that a little bit later in the demonstration today. On the right here, we have basically showing you all of the consignments that are moving today. So on a quick glance, I've got this number 7 here. So I've got 7 consignments that are moving today. You can see all of those over here. So anything that has been submitted, any drafts, they will all be shown over here. I'll just, before I scroll down, I'll just click on this and I'll show you, we have introduced this eNVD profile section. So if I was to click on this, I can update my name, my contact phone number. I can nominate to be a carrier, livestock carrier. So if you are moving your own livestock, you'd like to have this option ticked. So let me just go up. I click on update profile. Now that will allow me to start making changes. Click on this. I will also put down my vehicle registration number. Let me just say ABC 4345. And another thing to note here is the email notification. So we have also introduced the email notification feature for all receivers. So if you are somebody who doesn't want to receive an extra email, just click on that to disable this email notification feature. And we also giving, if you've got multiple LPA accounts, we are giving you the option to change and select which one would be your default LPA account that will be shown when you log in. So I'll leave it as QCZZ and I'll go back up, save these changes. I'll take you back to the consignment, the eNVD homepage. Click on the account switcher and you can see another new account has appeared here. So this is the transporter profile. So we've added that to this login for Heritage Dairy Farm because we went into profile and we have nominated that I am a livestock carrier. So if I'm moving my own stock, I can just go ahead and put my own details in under the transport section. So we'll go through that a little bit later. So if I was to scroll down, this section, you'll be familiar with this already. This basically has all of your consignments that are not just restricted to today, to anything that was created yesterday, last week, and any future dated consignments as well. We have the ability to search by pick, name, serial number, or region number. I'll just use a name if you want to search by Smith, for example. So all of your consignments that has anything to do with Smith would be shortlisted over there. If I wanted to search by a pick, QEZZ9999, all of the consignments that has anything to do with this pick would be shown over here. And I can do the same with the region number for truck, for example, ABC123. So I've got anything to do with that region number will be shown over there. You can do the same for a serial number of a consignment. So if I've got anything, I can just type in here. We have that option to filter consignments. So we can filter by species, status, or within a specific date range. And we also giving you the option to sort consignments by last updated movement date or created date. So I'll just leave it as last updated. Now, last week we covered creating a consignment from scratch. So today I'll pick one of my draft consignments and I will just step through the various screens. So I will just take one of these ones. So this is a draft. So as I click on the consignment, it takes me to the consignment summary screen. So on the consignment summary screen, I can quickly see who's the livestock owner, where it's moving from, where it's moving to, and what's included in this consignment, and what are the forms included here. So I've got a NVD and a MSA form. Now, while it's in draft status, I can preview how this information will look like in the paper form. So if I click on this, preview form in PDF, so basically it will render all of that information in the paper form. So I can see all of the responses I've provided so far. How does it look on the paper form? It's got all of this information here. I've also added a couple of permits. I've added some byproduct stock feeds, so they are there. So, and then this is the MSA form. So, okay, that's fine. We also put this watermark draft in there so that just to sort of let you know that this is still in draft, so it doesn't need to be shared. So it's only for you, for your information only. And now I'll just quickly jump into the movement section. So now I'm just going to step through the different pages. All of the most of the responses would be there already. So just saving a bit of time there. So you can see owner information has been added, Heritage Dairy Farm, which is myself. So this is the source information which is linked, locked to your LPA profile. So we'll auto-populate from there. You are adding where it's being transported to. So the destination address would be there. And then if you wanted to add anybody else like an agent, so you can add your agent to the consignment as well. Now we also need to provide the movement time and date. So let's just say moving at 6 p.m. So let's leave it as 6 p.m. Now, what are the forms that I'm selecting? I'm doing an NVD and MSA form. And then we get into the livestock description. So I've pre-filled this information. So if I wanted to add a second livestock description, so I've got 100 heads of Angus. I'll add another one. So I'll just put down number of heads, another 100 of Santa. Center, and it's here. Did I want to draw a brand? No, I'll just type it in. I can always draw a brand if I want to. And I put 100 analyze tags, 0 Roman devices, and I go add. Right. So I've added a second livestock description. The total head has been updated. Go click on next. Then I get into the history questions of these consignments. So all of these answers are there. If you're not sure what the question is about, we will also provide you this explanatory note. So just click on the question mark. It brings up some more information telling you how to answer that question. Click on next. And I get into the food safety questions. So this is one of the questions where we allow you to upload any documents. So if you want to attach a file like a byproduct stock feed, just click on edit. Now we allow you to upload up to 5 files, and the allowed formats are JPEG, PDF, PNG, HEIC, and they can be up to 5 megabytes. So if I click on one of these sample files that I have on my computer, and I need to declare what date it was fed. So let's say 8th of February is fine. And same thing for this one. I'll add one of my sample files. Let me eNVD producer checklist. Sounds good. I will add this as well. Now I've added 2 of these attachments. If I wanted to check what file have I attached, I'll just click on the link. It will render the file on my browser. I can quickly check if I've attached the right file. If I'm happy with this, all good. If I'm not happy with that, I can just go in and remove that file and attach something else. So click on that. I'm happy with this question. Go to the next one, which is the chemical treatment. So all of these are pre-filled because I've loaded from a draft. and then I get into the declaration page. So this information again will be auto-populated from your LPA profile of the user. So this information is pre-filled, I signed it, and let's just say tomorrow. Oh, so yeah, tomorrow, today, sorry, 18th of March. Tick on this declaration. I'm happy with all of that. Now, again, here, this is another question where we can upload any documents that I'd like to send with this consignment. So if I'm sending any, if I have any tick permit that I want to upload, I can upload the permit here. So again, we can upload up to 5 files, and the allowed file formats are JPEG, PDF, PNG, HEIC, can be up to 5 megabytes. Let me just select one of my sample files. I'll just select the cattle tick declaration. I'll add this to the consignment. I can check what I've added just by clicking on the link. Yep, I'm happy with that. Close that. So there's a second one in my draft. If I wanted to add one more, I can do that. If I don't want to add anything there, I can just remove this. I click on the remove and it's gone. I also declare any additional information. So if I'm saying these animals are antibiotic free, I can type it in here. And I go next. Okay. Now here, this is where I'll start adding my transporter details. So this draft I have added already isctransporter@gmail.com. So if I just go into, so let's just pretend this account that I'm using is isc.mla.20, sorry, iscmla2024@gmail.com. So that is this account. Let me just say roaming driver. So I'll pretend to be a driver. And my region number was ABC 345, I think. Transporter number 048. And I'll scroll down. I'll sign. It's a bit easier to sign on the app. Movement day is today. And it's gonna be at 6 p.m. we said. And tick this that I'm the person in charge. Add transporter details. So now I've added my details. I've replaced IC transporter, which was there, with my details because I'm the transporter. If I want to add another driver, I can add that. All I need to do when I want to add a driver is just to add the myMLA, your transporter's myMLA registered email ID. So ISC transporter is one of my test accounts at gmail.com. That's all I need to do. I don't need to provide any of the other information. Just by doing that, when I submit this consignment, this transporter, when they log into the eNVD system or the on the app, they'll be able to see this consignment. So I can submit this now. When I click on submit, it just reminds me there are certain fields that can be edited after I've submitted the consignment. So movement date and time, livestock description, and the transporter details. So I'll just say yes. Great. So I've submitted the consignment. I'm back on the consignment summary page. I'll see all of that information here. I updated the number of heads from 100 to 200. My forms are there. Now you can see this is generate PDF. So before it was preview PDF. So if I was to click on generate PDF, basically all of that information is rendered into the paper form. So you can see all of this information is there. It's captured. The pipe product stock feed and the transporter details has been signed as well. So I have got the MSA form. These are the attachments. So all of the attachments that I uploaded to the consignment are part of the PDF. So they're all there. They will never get lost. And this consignment, when it's shared with anyone, they can all access all of the attachments as well. So that's that one. Now, if I scroll down, as I mentioned, and it was one of the messages that was shown when I was submitting, there's only 3 fields that I can edit after submitting consignment. So movement is one of those sections. So you can see it says edit section, and I can also edit the livestock description section. So I can edit this, and I can also edit the transporter section. If I want to change any of the other sections, it's recommended that you delete this consignment and create a new one. So before you delete it, I'll recommend just, this is a tip for you. So just duplicate this consignment and save it as a draft. Then you can delete this consignment, and then that way you can just go back into your draft and then edit the responses or the answers that you provided that were incorrect. So, yep. And then one of the other new features that we have introduced is comments. So comments, basically, we had through our industry engagement, we had from the industry that there's a piece of paper that travels with the consignment. So where people are taking notes on the piece of paper. So we introduced this feature as one of those tools to sort of replace that note-taking feature. So if I'm a producer, I've just submitted this consignment, I want to let my transporter know that if I'm not able to meet the transporter, so I'll just say animals are in the southern yard. So once I leave a comment, I cannot edit or delete the comment, and I've got a character limitation of 256. So let's just add this comment. Now, as soon as I've added this comment here, everyone who's linked to this consignment will be able to see that the comment, and they can also comment on the same consignment. Now, consignment viewers, as I mentioned, if you wanted to add anybody else outside of the 5 people linked to the consignment, so your owner, source, who's yourself, your destination, and your consignee and the transporter. So if you wanted to link, for example, your accountant, or could be an agent in Queensland or NT who doesn't have a pick, so you can always add them as a viewer. So I see viewer. I've got a few test accounts. Sorry, that won't work with a slash. iscviewer5@gmail.com. Let's add that. Right, so I've added Williamson Rural Marketing. Now this person, when they log into the consignment, or sorry, when they log into the eNVD app or the web, they will be able to see this consignment as well. So that's how you can add your viewers. So some of the other viewers that you probably think about adding is like could be your livestock buyer. You could add them to the consignment, or anyone else in your business you'd like to give them access visibility over this consignment. You can always add them as a viewer. Right, so let me just go back to the consignment. I just want to show you another consignment which has got a lot more commentary in terms of the comments. Let me just see one of my consignments, this one here. So if I scroll down to the comments section, this has got a lot more action in here. So I, as a vendor, left a comment, and then the transporter, he logged in, he left a comment, said, yeah, I'll be there in the morning. We'll need a second truck, adding Bob. So transporter was able to add another driver. And then Jason Bourne, who was an agent on this consignment, he said, let me check with the buyers and I'll add them to the consignment. MLA processor head office was also able to add a comment. The second transporter came in, said that, yeah, Bob here, I will see you in the morning. And then, yeah, the first transporter just said, yeah, he just acknowledged what Bob said. Jason Bourne, he came in, he said that I've got the buyers, and he's added that. So adding buyers is a feature that only an agent or sale yard can do. None of the other sort of supply chain personas are able to do that. So just for agents and sale yard. So yeah, just wanted to show you that. And then, yeah, of course, this one has had a lot more viewers. Now I'll just quickly jump into onto my phone and I show you how this works from the mobile app. I'll start sharing screen. So again, we need to log into the app. So you can log in as a guest user or myMLA user. Logging in as a guest would just give you very limited functionality. So log in with the myMLA account. And I will log in with one of the same account that I was using on the computer. Okay, so as I log in, the app is trying to look for any changes that happened while the phone was offline, or anything, any updates on the computer. It's just trying to download all of that information to the phone. So doesn't take too long. It just, depending on how many accounts you've linked to your myMLA login, the syncing time will vary, but on average between 1 to 2 minutes. The more LPA accounts you have, more LPA data that you need to sync, the longer it's going to take. This account's only got like 2 LPA accounts, so I won't expect it to be syncing for too long. As I land into the home screen of the app, I've got multiple picks, my accounts, so I can scroll between, swipe left or right to go into different accounts. So these are my 2 LPA accounts. These are my NLS accounts, as you saw on the computer, and a transport account, which I just added today, my buyer and my viewer account. So I'll just go back into the account I was using. So if I go into, tap on the view button, and I will just quickly tap on one of these drafts, the second one, and I am going to just step through, just click on the edit button. That will allow me to just step through quickly, check all of the information and update anything if I wanted to. So just go in, yep, all of this information is okay. I'm saying it's moving tomorrow, so I'll leave it as it is, 6 a.m. tomorrow. It's a capital consignment. Next. That's fine. I want to include, I've already included one attachment in there for byproduct stock feed. The other one is also, if I wanted to just tap on the X and upload on something else. So if I tap on that, I want to upload the checklist. Just continue checking the answers. There's nothing really I want to change in here. Click on next. As I arrive on the livestock description page, so there's also a little bit of a misunderstanding or confusion going on, like as you're filling out eNVD and the EID implementation 2025. So people are a bit not clear, like what is the difference? So EID will still need to be, we don't capture the tags in here. We are doing, what we are reporting is just the number of heads. So we don't capture any of the EID tags in here, not yet, but we are working on a few projects that will sort of integrate between eNVD and LIS, as Sherry mentioned. That integration project is still, we are working on that. In future, we will have something that integrates, there will be more integration between eNVD and LIS, but for now, it's up to the receiver to do that LIS movement when they receive the consignment. So the 2 heads are there. I am okay with this. Did I want to draw a brand? I'll just say yes to this one, just to draw a brand. Just draw a circle. Next. Now this is the other page where I can upload any other documents. So if I have a tick permit, for example, I'll click on this, I'll tap attach file. I can attach the cattle tick permit. So again, I can upload up to 5 files, and they are up to 5 megabytes. it has to be a JPEG, PDF, PNG, HEIC, or so if I click on that, upload another second file. Let me just click on the health certificate. So, okay, click on next. I can also include any additional information, so antibiotic free on the mobile app as well. Continue clicking next to the next page. Now I get to the final declaration. So that information would be auto-populated from your LPA profile. I can sign this. It's a lot easier signing on the mobile app. Click on next. Oh, sorry. So if I miss out any of that information, it will be highlighted in red and it will ask me to provide that information. Let's go next. Then I get into the enter transporter details. So if I'm happy with this transporter, I can leave it as it is. If I want to remove this transporter, I can remove him and add a new one. So let's just say ISC transporter 1. So before I had ISO, that will not work. There was a typo in there. ISC transporter 1 at gmail, sorry, gmail.com. So now I can add ISC transporter 1. Click on next. So it's very easy to add, remove transporters. And then I'm ready to submit this consignment. Let's submit this. I get the message. I get the consignment summary page. I can see all of these sections are completed. It's got a green tick next to it. So it just basically tells me all of this mandatory information has been added to the consignment, and consignment is fully complete. So the next thing I just wanted to show you is if I go into a consignment page, so some of the different, sorry, before I do that, viewers, sorry, not here, go back to the consignment that I was just doing. So if I wanted to add consignment viewer, I can also add viewers through the app. I'll just type in ISC viewer 4 at gmail.com. So that will allow me to add a viewer through the mobile app as well. So I've added Ashley Holland to this consignment. Now I go back in here, I tap on the 3 dots. I want to show you how you are able to share this consignment. So if I'm looking at a consignment, these are the consignment options. So once I've submitted a consignment, I can save this as a template. If I wanted to make my life a bit easier for next time, I can save this as a template. If these are frequently moving consignment, livestock moving to the same destination, save it as a template. I can duplicate this consignment as a once-off. So if I want to just create a second consignment, same details, just duplicate consignment, add viewers, add comments, generate PDF, share via QR code, and share URL. So let me just click on share URL. Basically what this does is it brings up the app sharing tray, and I've got the option to share this via SMS or email with anybody that I'd like to share the consignment with. So if I was to click on share by SMS, I'll just put my name and I'll share this. Basically, I'm sending an SMS to myself and I've received that already. So if I go in here, so if I was to click on the link, basically takes me to the PDF online version of the PDF. So it's just going to open it up. So you can see all of that information in the PDF form. including my attachments. So I go back to my, I can do the same. I can share it by email. I can just copy that link and share it with email. And if I want to share this consignment via QR codes, for example, if I do that, it basically puts all of that information in QR code. So depending on how much information you have, you'll have that many series of QR codes. So the QR codes will cycle back and just continue rotating until all of the information is sort of captured. And I will just, what I'll do, I will show you how this QR code scanning would work. So if you were, let's just pretend that you are a receiver. So you've got the phone ready to receive a QR code. So if I was to click on this and bring up a QR code, so the phone is going to scan that. So now that's how you actually, like a transporter will come in. You bring up the QR codes. If you're both working offline, a transporter comes up to you, you will bring up the QR codes on your phone. This is your phone, and transporter will just scan it like that. So that's how the QR code scanning works. It's a tool that we've designed for offline sort of scanning, sharing consignments. So I think that's all I would like to share on the app. If we could go back to the slides, and I'll just talk to you about the email notification. So email notification. So if you are a livestock receiver, we have sort of helped to put this email notification feature together to instead of you going through various emails every day saying that these are your consignments, we consolidate all of your consignments that are due to arrive today. So we will send you early morning at 3 a.m. So this example here, we've got, this screenshot is from the 12th of March. So 3 a.m., 12th of March in the morning, we will send you an email saying that all of these consignments are coming to your property today. And at the bottom section there, we will just show you all of the consignments that have been that you've been added to a consignment in the last 24 hours. So basically, just trying to simplify your processes. So if you're just making it easier to manage consignments, so that email notification is just that feature to help you just manage your day a bit better. I think that's all from my side. Back to you, Sheree.
Thank you, Romy. That was great. Thanks everyone for all your questions. They've been coming in thick and fast, which is fantastic. We love to see that. So we're getting to those questions. Just before we wrap up, I just wanted to just summarize, I guess, a few things that we do get asked a lot about the sharing options for the eNVDs. And I guess I would just say that that we always just say to check in with your receiver that they are able to accept the digital consignments. So your transporter, your sale yard, your processor, your agent, just to check in, because this is still a fairly new system. And whilst we are supporting industry with lots of adoption efforts, it's still really important just to check in, just to so that you know what's going on. And if you do need to print one out, you can, but there is still benefit in putting the information in digitally, because then it's just digitally captured and it will stay in the system, which has its benefits. And I guess the next thing I just wanted to add to that is if you've registered for if you've registered for a myMLA account and linked all your accounts or your integrity systems accounts into your myMLA dashboard, they'll all be there for you to see. And if your receiver has also registered for a myMLA account and therefore their email is recognised by myMLA, then when you submit a consignment, it will also appear in their eNVD account. But it's still important to check in with them just to save any last minute stress that they may need a paper copy. You may need to print one off. But for your transporter, there's also the option to text message the PDF, as Romy showed, or email the PDF. So there are a few options there to help with that. But yeah, I guess our key message is just check in with your receiver that they're ready and able to receive a digital consignment before you send any animals off. But yes, that's basically the summary of what I wanted to wrap up with. We've still got some questions coming in, which we can leave the chat open for a little bit longer. But just before we wrap it up, there is a feedback survey that we've just put in the chat box, which we'd really appreciate if you could fill it in and give us feedback on this webinar, and that will help us improve for next time, which is really important. So if you let us know if there's other topics you'd like to hear about or any feedback on this webinar at all, we're happy to receive that. There's also now up on your screen some resources links there to the help page that I referred to earlier. So please have a look there. There's lots of information on how to use the eNVD on the web and the app, lots of step-by-step guides that you can print off and keep beside you on your desk. So you've got them there handy, lots of checklists. We've also got videos. So there's lots and lots of help. Plus, if you really feel like you just need to talk to someone, please give us a call, 1-800-683-111. The customer service centre is open Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Time. And you can also email at envd@integritysystems.com.au. But yeah, so I think that almost wraps us up for the evening. We'd love you to fill in the feedback form. Don't forget, this recording will come out to you in email, as well as last Tuesday night's recording and all the questions that came in last week. We've had a lot come in tonight as well, so there'll be lots of questions and answers coming your way very soon. And yeah, we appreciate your time tonight and your efforts in looking at the eNVD and looking at how you might be able to use it in your business. We really appreciate that. Okay, thank you very much for your time. Good night, all.